Hello. So, yesterday they introduced the Clash of Worlds game mode to the game. And looking over here, I've actually noticed a few things. Is that, right, I talked about this in my Clash of Worlds, like the video about the Clash of Worlds being live or whatever. And that, right, all these buildings have buffs, like a lot of them. This one has a buff for like tank heroes, so every tank that's in the building increases the health of defense teams by 40%. This is cumulative for all characters. Like, it's probably easier in the Titans because we have the Bash of Ice. Every water Titan in here increases the buff, but increases the buff by 3%. It is the energy gain buff. So if you have, like I said, so there is a total of 16 water Titans in this building, which gives a total buff of 48% extra energy, which is a lot. Just think about all that extra energy. Plus you have all the Rajis here. They all put a Raji here. But you have like 48% extra energy. Like, so that means Sigurd, Nova, Myri, Hyperion, like even Hikeside, I'm pretty sure it applies to Raji too. Like all these characters, all these Titans will gain energy 48% faster. Well, plus you have the speed boost with the Raji. Like, this could be really annoying to beat through these buildings. Like, this is going to change team building a lot. Like, they just, they're going to already gain energy faster because they're attacking faster because of Araji's buff, and now they're just going to gain energy faster, which means the totem's going to activate more often. So there's going to be more healing. The stuns are going to happen more often. Sigurd's going to be invincible more often. They're going to be nerfing your attack more often. Getting through these water teams with all this extra energy is going to be a real pain. Then you have the Earth one. This one honestly seems underwhelming. It's only 32% extra defense. I mean, that's whatever, but it seems underwhelming, to be honest. It just feels a bit underwhelming compared to the other one. It does increase their defense, though. We got a Morlock, like I said, because there's only 3 super, so you're going to see some people who have like a tank Titan, like as 2 tank rather than a 2 super team, because the tanks are like usually the next best Titans, so it is a bit odd. You might see like an Ignis or a Myri or something in one of these 4+1 teams, because Ignis and Myri are pretty good. Then you got the Fire Titan one. For some reason, so people put Water Titans here instead of Fire Titans, which I don't know why, because we don't have a lot of fire teams. Fire teams could probably go there. Ether Prism. Like I said, we haven't really, like I said, we're going to set all these later. Bridge. Gosh, do we not even have any big fire teams? Wow. Need people to set some fire titans. Like, so don't have like any like actual fire titan teams. Like, everybody who has like all the big titan teams, we need to set some people to do fire teams. That's something we'll definitely need to do. But anyway, so like this one though, like, because heroes, like in theory, you could shove a team that's like 5 tanks in one of these, which would give the bonus. Like, this might actually be a strategy, is that you could potentially, like, right, you have like chump teams. Not everybody can build up 3 good teams or whatever, even 2 good teams. So maybe you have somebody who puts up a team that's just a bunch of tanks or something. Like, see this team that's 5 tanks? This is like a chump team, but if you put this in here, right, there's 5 tanks here, so now the buff is 90%. Like, this could give extra health to the better teams. Like, you could just potentially buff them. Also, there was a time Martha was actually a tank hero. She used to be support/tank. This was a while ago now. Like, they changed her typing. They've changed typings on many heroes, but when Martha was first introduced, her typing was actually main role support, additional role tank. Though it didn't usually have say main additional, it used to say support/tank. So she would have been a tank for the purposes of that buff. But they've changed that. But it's kind of too bad, because we could have definitely used another tank hero, because there's only like 9 heroes who have a tank flag. Like, tanks. It's like a bunch of Auroras, Rufuses, Cleavers. Yeah, I said there might only be... There's a double tank, but these are kind of weak. Some of these are weak teams. But yeah, no, some of like I said, so I think there might only be 9 heroes reflect tanks. Lilith used to be a secondary tank. Like Lilith was like a control slash tank, then they changed her to be mage slash control. It's like it was stupid. Still one of the worst changes ever done. But yeah, no, we need to get some fire titans up here. Because we don't have any fire titans. Because all these grass titans. Gosh, I thought we had somebody who had Fire Titans set, but maybe they decided to change them to Water Titans for some reason after they set them. Because I was looking at the other day, we had Fire Titan teams. I thought he had a Fire Titan set. What's Roland got set here? Fire. Oh, they does have Fire Titans. Like someone changed it around for some reason. Some people are moving stuff around. Like, don't we have Fire Titans? We don't have a lot of Fire Titans. I guess we'll jump this one here for now, so you can get the. So now there's 9 Fire Titans. So you got the bonus times 9. 72% extra health. Fire Titans with extra health might be good. Do we have any other Fire Titans to throw in here? It's kind of Fire Titans. We do not have a lot of... Ooh, here we go. We can jump this one in here. Just gotta try to find these Fire Titans here. Like, I know I have another... I've said there's a lot of people who haven't set their Titan teams yet, which is something they need to do. But some of these villains don't have any buffs. And there's not a buff for support. There is no support buff. I talked to Tanya. They might add one in the future. Damage resist. So Marksman, this is decreases damage dealt to defense teams by... So this increases... So this reduces damage, which was actually probably a decent one. It says Marksman or Frail. This just straight up reduces damage. So Jew, Dante or Marksman, Jew, Fox. I have 2 Marksmen in this team. Jew, Dante, Ginger. There's 3 Marksman team. 1 Marksman, 2 Marksmen. So that's looks like we got even like 10. So that's 10 times or 11. We might actually have 11 there. It looks like 11. So 10 times 3, so 33, yeah, so 11. So you got 11 Marksmen here. This one's Bastion. Magic defense, so this is going to be a pretty bad buff. This is for warrior heroes, so people have warriors. There's not even warriors in that line. Oh boy, there's not a lot of warrior heroes. And most warrior heroes suck. Ooh, wait, Arachne. Arachne's a warrior hero. But like how you change your defenses, like it's kind of tricky. Like who do you put where? You know, there's 2 warriors there. Some heroes only have 1 class, which actually might be for the detriment. But magic defense, so here's the thing though, like magic defense is kind of a meh buff because magic penetration exists and a lot of warriors already have terrible magic defense. Yes, this can increase the mag defense of the other characters on the node, but that's pretty bad. I mean, it's just like, I don't know, like maybe like this is, again, you might just have a team that's like 5 warriors just to put in here to kind of give them a boost, but magic defense, like they just like a single magic pen buff from like Arachne or Lars or Orion or whatever, then this buff almost becomes irrelevant. A similar thing with the Alchemy Tower, which is defense. Armor Pen is a thing. This is where you stick a bunch of these mage teams, so you'll have like these, like I said, you have teams like Krista, Kai, Helios is mage. There's 2 mages here, 3 mages there. 4 mages there. Like, see, mage. Like, so you'll get a lot of mages here pretty quickly. Is Dorian a mage? I don't know. Like, does it tell me? You can actually look at here. You look at... But they have the crystals. Oh, I went Bastion and I clicked the wrong one now. Like, not the Alchemy Tower. I'm like, oh, shoot, that's a warrior one. Okay. Leon's a mage. But there's so many mages. Heidi's a mage. I guess Dorian's not. Okay. Look at that. Ooh, this would be a good one to put here. Like, another 5 mage team. But, like, all these mage teams... 5, like I said, 4 mage teams, like all those, like, and you can buff the defense up pretty high, but the armor penetration buff, like even, like a lot of mage heroes have terrible armor, so it's kind of for naught. City Hall increases healing for defensive teams, so double healer, 3 healers, there's a 3 healer team. Like, this team's pretty weak, but you can dump like a bunch of healers in some of these spots. There's 2 healers there. Any team with like multiple healers. Like that one maybe. Like this is going to be really complicated to try to figure out where to set whom. Like, because some teams are going to be better. Like, because you get to set 60 hero teams for defense. Like, so if you have 30 players in the guild, everybody needs to set, like, they're probably 2 good teams. Like, you'll have a couple people who can set, like, 3 good teams, but most people should probably try to do 2 good teams, and if they don't have a third good one, like maybe just do 5 of the same hero type for your third one might be a better strategy. If you can, if you all have trash, like if you have to put a trash team, like you can maybe put 5 of the same class to kind of buff up all the other teams in the node, in the building. Like that could be a strategy. Like it's a lot of strategies here. No more 3 times. So we'll just dump that there. There's not a support building, so there's nothing for your support heroes like Sebastian and stuff. Like Nebula's a support / healer, but she only gets the healer benefit. Oh, engineering. We have to talk about this one. This is energy gain for control heroes, this is going to be like potentially nightmare with like Arachne teams, like because you got Arachne here and you're against control. Single control. A lot of you probably need to change some of these teams because some of these don't even have there's not even a controlled hero in that team. That's not even a controlled team. Oh, maybe it is. Maybe it is. Is Isaac a control hero? Oh, there's 2 control heroes there though. Leon's control hero. That could be good. Like, but you have to kind of optimize these. But Leon's pretty good on defense. Like you want to try to maximize, but a bunch of extra energy for control heroes could be really big for like Arachne. It's 2 controls. Probably put the team up top here. Not a lot of 2 control heroes, and then you have like Darkstar, who's terrible. And we're at the bottom of the pile here. Oh wow, is that a 3 control? There's 3 controls. Wow, Luther and Amvar. Like, there's some heroes you don't even realize are control heroes till you start looking at stuff like this. Like, look at some of these, but this was a 2 control. Like, okay, so this team's actually pretty bad. So let's put in one of these, like, 3 control teams, hero teams. So that one's 3, 3, like this one here. So we'll do this one, because that's 3 control heroes. So now we got a bigger buff here. It's 45% extra energy. So there's 9 control heroes in that spot. Like, so extra, like I said, extra deep energy gain for like a Leanne or Arachne especially, or Jorgen. Like, you can really start locking them down. Isaac's a control hero, but he doesn't gain energy, so he will not benefit from that. But like Arachne's, though, can be really annoying with that extra energy. Let's see what other buildings we haven't talked about. Talked about Foundry, that's the first one we did. Bastions. Shooting range. This is better because it actually reduces damage rather than these magic defense or defense buffs, which penetration buffs just kind of erase that. And then, oh, we got the Sun Temple. This buff is completely worthless right now because it decreases damage dealt to defensive teams by 0, how, like I said, but you have to do Light Titans on defense. And do you know how many people have Light Titans in this game? 0. This buff will do absolutely nothing in the short term, so this will probably be where you dump your like worst Titan teams or whatever. Like just this, you could just like until like next month, like November. This really won't matter till like November, probably. But you could kind of see this like a regular Titan building for the next few weeks. It'd be kind of like Ether Prisoner, somewhere where there's no buff. And then you have Moon Temple. This is like if anybody has, Karos like buffed up or whatever and put in a Titan team, this is where you'd put him. Like, we can dump, we have a couple people have like Karos up here. We can put Karos here. It's the only Dark Titan, so kind of limited here, but there you go. So max health for the Titans by 14%. So Karos, like if you have Karos, there'll be more to next week. But yeah, and then of course you have the big building here, the Citadel. This is the grand prize. It's 400 points, but so you have a bridge here, you have bastions here, so this is the openings, like these 3 buildings, so as usual, normal, opening the 3 houses. Then you got the bridge. Then you got the gates, the first gate. So 1 tier, 2 tiers. Then you got a second bridge. So that's 3 tiers. And then you got the temples, which seems to be another tier of bastion. So 4 tiers, a defense before you can reach a citadel. That's how I understand. Like, that's how I understand you have to go through 4 tiers of defenses. Bridge, gates, bridge, gates, citadel. A lot of, like I said, that's a whole lot of buildings to go through. But it is what it is. But yeah, like, I know this video ended up being kind of long. I actually did another video that was more directly about the other aspects of Clash of Worlds, but I figured the buffs are really interesting. It's probably the best part about Clash of Worlds because it creates different situations. It kind of changes how you might build teams, how you might organize your teams. Like the idea that you can maybe possibly create some benefit by just putting like a 5 tank team, just like, you know, to kind of buff up the other teams. Or if you're somebody who has like you're one of those people who have like 40 plus heroes invested, like you could create like a 5 tank team. I don't know which tanks would be best. I mean, like the best tanks, like health wise, I think are like health wise, Ziri, see, Rufus, Ziri, Luther, Aurora, Cleaver, I believe, are the tanks with the 5 most health. So if you really want to, I mean, yes, you could probably, in theory, jam in like 25 tanks in here, but 5 tank team probably by itself, probably not so good. Oh, the other thing I want to mention is that team building is like, because there's 60 teams, you have 30 players, you could potentially have 30 teams with Sebastian in them. Like if everybody has their Sebastian team as their best team, for example, like, because Sebastian's probably the best hero in the game, and you'll protect from status effects. Like, if you had 30, so you could have 30 teams with Sebastian, but you could also potentially have 30 teams with Chorus to kind of, like, be the other, like, status protection. So you have 30 Sebastians, 30 Choruses. That might be the ideal setup. A lot of Sebastians, a lot of Choruses, if you can find them. Like there's a Chorus here, like he has Chorus and Sebastian, but you know, Chorus could be like the alternative Sebastian for a lot of these teams. Let's see if I have any. A lot of people like the Chorus is, most people don't have Chorus Absolute Star yet because we're kind of waiting for a Soul Speed Level, which will probably happen around what's it called? CyberCon. Oh, there's a Chorus. So yeah, there's a lot more stuff that can be placed. Like, but I'll have to go through this probably over the weekend here. I need to get other people to set some stuff because we got a lot of players who have not set teams. Like if you go to guild members, like these guys got to set their stuff. Well, Cindy's inactive. She's like one of the strongest players on the server, but she quit like in March, hasn't logged in since March. So unfortunately, we keep her around for Saturday Wars. I actually have her in the war for today because Saturday War is going to start soon. I actually have her in the war to kind of as a good defender because she is like one that's like a top 3 player on the server, top 5 or whatever, like power wise. So you don't throw a player like that away if you can avoid it. John, I told him to set his teams, but he didn't. I'm not sure why Vincent didn't, but he. Unfortunately, we might have to wait till John till next week before John sets a team. Because he doesn't play on weekends. He's gone the whole weekend. So anyway, hope you guys found this video informative and fun. And like I said, if you missed my other video about the Clash of Worlds where I go more in detail about the other aspects like the rewards and the rules and stuff, check that video down below. And as always, thank you for watching.